So we had that fat gap. It was like an entire month, almost on the dot, between updates. And I think that was the second time it happened. But then we were all scared of going back to the same 1 month wait for another update. And I can confidently say we're fine. We've broken the streak. So instead of waiting a month for an update, we only had to wait a week. Actually, no. We had an update before the week ended, where there was a big buff to Atomic Samurai and Suryu got these neat looking M1s. That was a pretty decent mini update because everybody went crazy over the Atomic Samurai buff, and I haven't talked about it yet, which I will be in this video, so don't leave yet. But we just got a new update today. So as you can see, Suryu's base moveset is now complete. Finally. Or not finally. That took like a week. I don't think this beats Garo though, but this is probably the fastest completed base moveset, which is pretty sick.
Primary Lotus!
From the sneak peek, it looked like Rock Lee's Primary Lotus. Don't hold me to it, but I think I'm right. Also, why does that look like an ultimate move? This looks too good for a base move. This looks way too good for a base attack. Oh, and yeah, the dummy also has decimal point damage now. So some attacks don't actually do the damage that you've been seeing. What if I told you that all this time, Shove does 6.9% damage instead of 7%. We were wrong this entire time. Why is this a thing? I don't know. And we have a finisher already. Vanishing Kick now has a finisher, and I'm not sure if it's for the first part or the second part or both of the parts, but there's only one way to find out. Oh, this is the first part. Okay, what the? I gotta redo that. I was talking. That was too quick. Okay, here. That is really cool. I'm a big fan of that. Oh yeah, I had somebody tell me I'm built like All For One. I would love to know if that's what you think, because I can sort of see it, but my smile is a bit nicer, and I'm more colorful, I'm more textured. Like if we do a side-by-side here, I think I look a little bit classier, and I don't need some weird breathing apparatus to live, so +1 for me. So there's a new wall combo. It's so fast! It's so fast. Okay. It does work. That's like the easiest way to hit it. Or not the easiest, but the easiest in that situation. Pretty sick. But this new move though. So all of the damage is from the down part. Oh, now I gotta look at the decimals and I gotta do extra math. It does 17.5% damage. It's a lot less than you might think. But how does it work for combos though? Can you do it off of a down slam? You can. Okay. That's a huge plus. And can you down slam after using it? Calm down. You can get an easy down slam off of that too. So this move is actually kind of perfect. Gotta do the spinny spin. So we got some new accessories. First up is Slinky. That fits around my head perfectly. It's almost too perfect. Hello. You're so detailed. I forget what you're from, but you're very interesting and cool. You can have a little friend now for a cheap price of 20,000 kills. We got the Blood Scarf. I think this is from Stain, if I'm not mistaken. Viewer discretion is advised. I have to remove my head to show some of these, so please don't freak out. So we got a nice black headband here. We have a torn headband, which is also Stain's, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to be a hero killer, then the owner is making that very easy. Desert Cape. I'm trying to think of who this is from, but I really don't remember. Looks cool, though. Even little feathers move. You can see. Got the fur cape. This one looks mad weird. Holy crap. It has, like, actual hairs on it. This kind of looks like PS2 level hair graphics. From afar, you can't really tell. We got the spiky cape. Oh, this one looks so weird. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Who's this from? Yeah, I don't think this is going to be very popular. On the 19th of last week, there was a mini update that kind of went crazy. Atomic Samurai got the most insane buff. The most deserved buff, may I mention. And there was some other tiny stuff, but it was mostly just Atomic Samurai that got buffed, and everyone was super hyped about it. Atomic Samurai got so screwed over, man. Everybody just forgot about him. It's like the one character nobody mentions. But now that he got a buff, oh, he's OP now, so everybody's got to use him. But in that update, we got the Suryu M1s. They're the same speed as Saitama's. so you can M1 trade with them pretty well. They're pretty satisfying to land, actually. They got cool sound effects. So the owner also posted a little message saying what triggers the wheel to spin. So this divine wheel will spin when you use your ultimate. If you're using an emote, it'll spin. It'll spin when you land a perfect M1, and that's how you do Black Flash and stuff. And then it'll spin if you die. This is probably the coolest accessory, except for Slinky here. Tatsumaki's fourth move actually got kind of a crazy buff, because you can just throw people up there. And he just barely stayed on. Like, that was close. And this is one of the thicker parts of the map. So if you go to a spot like over here, this spot specifically is the easiest spot where it works. Bring a player or a dummy, and you can throw people out of the map. Now this was possible before this move got buffed, but now it's like 10 times easier. And the owner even added like a little wall or something there to trigger the person or the player or the dummy to not get thrown off. He only did it for the smallest part of that area. With this buff, you can throw it right over the part where it would block. Look. Just toss him right over. What the hell is that? I just noticed. What is that? It's Genos' arms. But all you gotta do to win is just get your opponent to run over here with you and chuck him off the map. In the update where we initially got Suryu firstly, we got down slam finishers. And I say finishers because in that video, I only showed one, when there's actually 4. And I don't know if I can get them all to play in order, but that's the first one. That's 2. I think that's 3. I'm not sure. That's a new one. There's 4. And this is the only finisher in the game that has more than one variant, I think, which is pretty cool. Maybe uppercut finishers in the future? Maybe. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Maybe grab him by the neck and like slam him down or something. I don't know. Something vile. Something absolutely brutal. Tell me you agree with me. Come on, Slinky. Okay, he's a bit silent right now. The real big buff, though, was Atomic Samurai, specifically his ultimate mode, and specifically the sunset move. Now before, this move would just have you sit in one spot while you're swinging your sword, and may I remind you, you had no iframes, and you still don't, so you were basically like a sitting duck if you missed this move, but now, you travel incredibly far with each swing. When I tell you this move was by far the worst on his moveset, with absolutely no competition, every other move is infinitely better. I'm telling the truth here. This was the most needed buff in his moveset and probably in this game's entire character list. Like, honestly, if you look at all the other characters, Saitama's fine, Garo's like kind of fine, Genos is definitely fine, Sonic's fine, Metal Bat's fine, Tatsumaki's fine. This is the one attack that needed this, and it finally got it. Whenever I want to land Sunset, I just give up. I try to use other attacks, but now I can just do it from like over here. And you can be so accurate with it. It's kind of a blessing, honestly. Another thing is before it could not hit multiple people, but now it can. And this allows for some incredibly overpowered stuff. It's got 5 dummies here. It's hitting them all. They're all stuck. They can't ragdoll out of that. They can't evasive out of that. So you can travel far. And you can catch like anyone in your vicinity because of how far it travels. It's kind of perfect now. And say your ultimate is running out. You want to get some ultimate back from your current ultimate. And that's a thing, by the way. Some of your ultimate moves can give you part of your ultimate bar as your ultimate runs out while you're using that attack. And with big area of effect attacks, you can hit a bunch of people at once and get a bunch of your ultimate bar back. And you probably guessed correctly, and you've already seen everyone else tell you this already, but you can hit multiple people when your ultimate is about to run out. If you hit at least 5 people, and then those 5 people again with like a quick slice, you basically have your ultimate back immediately. Look at this clip of somebody doing exactly what I just described. Is this too overpowered? Nah. Let Atomic Samurai have some time in the spotlight. If people find out how to abuse this like perfectly, nerf it later, please. Let Atomic Samurai have some fun. I love using this character, and he's very underrated. Or he was. he was underrated. Something I did want to try though is now that we have decimal points in the damage, can I get an accurate reading on what Atomic Samurai's passive does? Because if you don't know, the passive is just increased M1 damage. That's it. It's really boring and lame because for some reason they decided to change it from a really cool passive. Do that. Now go 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first two M1s do 4.4% compared to the 3% that the regular first two M1s do. And then the last two do 5.9. And the last M1s usually do like 4%, I think. It's a pretty decent increase when you factor in combos and stuff. But it's still a lame passive. We want the old passive back. Please bring the old passive back. One last thing. There's a new badge. Owner approved. Having this badge means you did something notable enough to receive a star above your name in the game. This is technically a title, so you get a little star title. Nobody has this yet, but I'm sure some people will have it soon. Sounds pretty sick.